Hey guys, slightly off topic this time. Santa came earlier today, a little bit early, and not in a sleigh but in a rather large articulated truck. So here's my little Christmas present, and given the size of it I'm not going to be able to open this one-handed, so I'll pop back when I get it out of the box. Ta-da! After some considerable unpacking, here's what we got. Is this cool for an old hippie or what? This thing is cool in so many ways, and the main way it's cool is like this. It's a beer fridge. Some place to keep the beer. Excellent. With all the recesses are for beer cans and stuff, so it'll fit right in. Couldn't resist putting a guitar beside it. But there you go. Merry Christmas to me. Hey guys, well, it looks like I was good all year long because Santa brought me something more for the workshop. So here is my new toy. So this kind of increases the need for having a computer out here because this thing is USB controlled. I guess it doesn't take a genius to figure out what it is. So this is a CNC coil winder. Okay guys, so here's an initial look around this coil winder now that I've got it powered up. So essentially it needs a reasonably hefty power supply, so I'm just using my lab supply. It's set to about just over 13 volts. I don't know if you can see it, but it consumes about 1/4 of an amp at rest, and in use it'll jump up to anything up to 2.5 to 3 amps when this guy gets spinning. So this guy here is the nozzle, and it comes with a set of nozzles all at different diameters for different wire. This little front plate here where the nozzle is fixed is adjustable up and down to track different size bobbins. Then you have the pair of felt washers which are tension adjustable here, a guide pulley, and then 2 guide holes, and the wire goes either up over here and down onto the into the reel, or you can put the reel on here and let it take it from there. The advice is you can definitely put it on the rail if the wire is heavy, but if the wire is very light, really thin wire, it's actually better to leave it and just let it uncoil like this. You have less chance of snapping the wire. So that's it. All I've discovered so far is that when it's at rest doing nothing, red light is on. When you give it instructions and it's moving or doing stuff, green light comes on. This is a reset button. Things get confused. This tells you the supply volts that it's registering. It's the on-off switch right here. This is your supply in from the power supply, and this is your USB connector right here. And this is your panic button in case you're spewing enamel wire everywhere. It'll kill everything right dead, and you can reset and restart. And this is like just a regular chuck, and it's got 2 mandrels on here with rubber coated cones. And this of course is adjustable. You just loosen this and slide it back and forth. Yeah, and that's about it. So let's have a quick look at the software. We'll go from there. So this is the main screen of the software. So as you can hopefully see, you can put in the wire diameter, allow a certain percentage for the enamel insulation. You can put in the resistance per meter. You can then select either a round or a rectangular bobbin, so regular coils or transformers and stuff. Then you enter the width of the bobbin and its inner diameter. That will then tell you the number of windings per, the number of turns per layer, the total resistance per layer, and then the circumference after the first layer. Then you can key in how many layers you want to wind, and then it'll tell you the total in terms of the number of turns, the number of the resistance, and the total length of wire actually used. And there's a couple of manual controls, and you'll hear the machine chug when I mess with these. So you can jog it with this one here to go left and right. So you set your 0 position where you want the winding to start. You 0 it with the button, and the same with the bobbin. You can set the start position of the bobbin as well. You can 0 that guy. And when you have all that stuff in and you're happy with it, in case you want to do it multiple times, you can then load the whole, save the whole thing as a custom setting, to load and run repeatedly later on. So the way I've set it here, I've just put in some sample data with sample wire sizes and number of turns. Down here at the bottom you have a speed setting, so the whole thing can run quite quickly, or you can set it more slowly, especially when you're just messing to figure out how it all works. So I've set it to run quite slowly. And there's a little thing called ramping, and that basically means it ramps up and down to actual speed, so that it doesn't jump to speed quickly and then stop suddenly, which would cause the wire to recoil. And then there's some basic controls of start and stop. And so when I hit the start here, you'll hear the machine jump into life, and it'll do 2 layers that are about 1 inch long each. So I'll point the camera over here, and then I'm hitting the start button. So there you go, that's 2 layers. And that's running at 30%. If I increase the speed to let's say 50% and run the same thing again, you'll see that it generally everything runs quicker. So there you go, the basics of how this thing works. So when I get the Radialva out to put it together, I will have to make all the calculations, and so I know what to key in here and then give it a go. There's also a whole bunch of other settings on this thing. So there's an advanced mode, which lets you key in essentially a whole bunch of parameters that create your own script. There is a tab just for winding guitar pickups, and there is a whole there's a database of major guitar pickup bobbins included, so you can mess with that. Then you can actually design your own bobbins and put your own bobbins in, so you just include them and what dimensions they are and so on. There's some extra stuff which you basically don't mess with unless you know what you're doing, so I have no idea what that is. It's a diagnostic mode. there is what they call a manual pendant, which is essentially like a remote joystick that you plug into the winder, and you can actually control it from a joystick. And there is a section if you want to do starship coils, and well, we're not interested in that at all. So that's a real quick overview of the CNC coil winder. So yeah, cool stuff. I'll be messing with this in the new year, and looking forward to it.